I know when I bring up that word will, something happens to all of us. We kind of get nervous, we get butterflies, we want to change the topic, we want to push it aside. It feels so daunting. Well, we're here to change that all for you because one thing you'll notice from me today is a full hour of me smiling, being happy, talking about giving not only yourself, but your friends, your family, peace of mind by finally doing something that nags and we think about all the time, getting our affairs in order, but with trust and will. And let me tell you a little bit about Trust and Will for those of you who haven't heard about them. They have helped hundreds of thousands of people help secure, safeguard their family's legacy. Because one thing that Trust and Will knows all so well is our will is our most overlooked piece of our financial wellness. In fact, only 34% of American adults have a will in place. And while that may be startling or shocking to most of us, quite frankly, it's not because we feel that the topic is too heavy for today. So, this is what Trust and Will does so well. They've taken something really complicated or maybe felt heavy before, they simplified it, they made it easy, affordable, because how this all works is a self serve platform. It's a digital platform, in fact. We're going to walk you through it, but you're going to get a redeemable voucher and as it walks you through the self guided experience in less than 20 minutes or thereabout, you are actually going to have your will complete. And if you've ever done anything like a TurboTax in your past before, you've gone online, you've done that tax software, it's very similar in nature where Trust and Will ask us the question, and then we are going to put in our personal customized answers. So I think what you'll notice here is it's something that's so affordable. Let's just walk through and let me give you a closer look into how this all works. So, first and foremost, you're going to see that you're putting in just your basic information. And that information is so important because where you live, your state actually creates a state specific will. And that matters because whether you're in Pennsylvania or whether you're in California, those wills are going to change state by state. So please know this is a state specific will for you all. But as you start to navigate through the software, it's so beautifully easy. Trust and Will ask the questions. And not only are we going to give you multiple choices for answers, we're also going to help point you in the direction by saying this will or this answer is what's most commonly answered. Now, for those who maybe need a little more time, maybe need more reflection, like someone like myself, I say 20 minutes, but you don't have to rush to do this in 20 minutes. You can break it up in bite sized chunks. In fact, our dear friend here, Kirsten Lindquist, she's very decisive. She knows what she wants. She said, Paige, I did it in just under 20 minutes. And I think that's amazing. And I'm someone who probably likes to take it 5 minutes at a time. So I would work on it for 5 minutes. And then I say, you know what? I'm going to pump the brakes. I want to talk to my dad. I want to talk to my husband. I want to talk to my family members. And then I'll come back tomorrow or next week. So please know we're not forcing your hand to get this done in 20 minutes. But this is something as you start to navigate through it, you can take a break and then you can come back later at a later time and really answer that and complete it. So the big question is that we're talking about today is with a will. A will is a legally binding document that actually dictates and tells how you wish your assets to be distributed. So we're talking pets, property, possessions, even your final wishes, or even your medical information. So that information is actually going to be broken out for you, very easy and simplistic. So let's just talk about how you do this. Now, one thing I'll tell you, I have this redeemable voucher at home. Once you sign up for either an individual or a couple, and I'm going to talk about the difference between the two of them, you're going to receive this voucher at home. But here's the cool thing. We talked about something that was complicated maybe in the past with a traditional will, maybe intimidating at the lawyer's office. Now you can go on and you can finish your will either on your phone. You can go online with your laptop or maybe even your tablet. So it's just that easy. These are the only tools you're going to need. We're going to give you that code to log in and get you started. And then you can go through your phone, you can sign up. And then at the end of the 20 minutes, you're not only going to have a completed will, you can do one of two things. You can immediately print that and have a digital copy in your possession. You can take it anywhere, you can get it notarized. and then it is legally binding. But also, in 3 to 5 days, Trust and Will is going to put together and mail you these customized, personalized wills for you. The first piece you're going to see, this is your will right here. These are all your decisions on your executor, your beneficiary, maybe who's looking over your children, your pets, but we've also included all that healthcare information. And this is a big deal as well. I cannot believe for something as affordable as this package that we also include your power of attorney. We also include decisions for any type of medical decisions if you are unable to. But we've also included the nuances of today, HIPAA protection. So HIPAA is so important today because every time we all go to that doctor's office, they ask you to sign that paperwork and note if there's anyone you wish and disclose your medical information and share with. That's an important piece of information I always encourage people to think about because you may want to pass down your medical history or you may want to keep it private. We're going to give you that capability as well. Also, a couple other nuances from a modern day will, if you will, is including the digital asset. So for any of us that maybe do banking online, that maybe have photos online and social media, that is a new piece of modern times. So we also want to make sure that we have beneficiaries for those photos, for those accounts, for those information. And the reason why they do this is because this is a completely comprehensive plan. They have thought of everything that you need to be included to make this work for your friends and your family. Now, I often talk about only 34% of American adults have a will, and there's a few reasons for that. First and foremost, I think most of us feel, well, I'm not a millionaire. I don't have a private jet. I don't have all these bank accounts everywhere, but that's a common misconception. If you are 18 years or older, you need a will. If you own any type of property, maybe it's even a motorcycle, maybe it's a stamp collection. It's all those little things from sentimental to monetary value and anywhere in between. And the reason we really encourage you to think about if this is something that has nagged you at night, if this is something that you've always wanted to do, now is the time. I talk about it often. 15 years ago was the time that I finally decided to do my will. I had 2 children and we were going away on that trip for the first time. So it really pressed me. It really forced me to get that will completed. But I'll tell you, it wasn't cheap. $1,500 later, including several hours later at the attorney's office. And I always tell people, it of course was comprehensive, but was I intimidated? Did I know the language? Did I perhaps answer prematurely on things because I actually needed more time to reflect and talk to others? But what I love about this program is not only when you decide to sign up today, not only when you fill out your will, we are giving you 2 years to make any changes that you seem fit. And that's a big deal because I'll tell you, if you're someone who's ever done a will or anytime you've made decisions in your life, we know the drill. A couple months later, maybe even a couple days later, you said, oh, I forgot to include this. Or I actually wanted to give my baseball collection to this person. I actually need to let someone know about my bank accounts. So we are giving you a very generous package of 2 years to make those changes. So we're going to take a closer look. I just lost a little view of my camera for a second, but we're going to walk you through the features of what is actually included with our trust and will package. But there are 5 specific different groupings that we are going to include in this program. So this is your basic information. We're going to allow you to designate a guardian. We actually want to help you make those decisions for any type of your health and medical information, final assets, and think about your final wishes. That's an important piece. And I do want to talk about that a little more, but also that healthcare piece. So these are all the key components that we will actually be including. But I'll tell you, when we talk about the ease of use, it couldn't be any easier. about this, it's a matter of questions and answers. And you can see here, it's just a very smooth, step by step guided experience. So please know this, you're going to receive this home. That is your end result. You're going to get two key components of your trust and will, individual or couples estate. First and foremost, you're going to have your will, your last will and testament. Everything is broken out, very specific, all areas, maybe your beneficiaries, your property, and more. But then the second folder, I talked about this being a complete and comprehensive set. And boy, is it. We've included your HIPAA protection, power of attorney, someone to create those medical decisions for you if you are unable to. But what you're seeing here is staggering. It's just as easy as going online. So, have you done any type of online programs like a tax program, TurboTax? It's very similar in nature. You go on, they ask the questions, and you give the answers. So often we talk about it as three coats of paint. So we have these leading team of legal experts. So they're the ones crafting and creating that will. And then once you put in your state, it actually creates a state specific will. And the third coat of paint that we're putting on this, that you and I are putting on this, is actually all of our personalization, all of our customization. So what we love, Trust and Will's expert create it, but our answers is what customize it for you. So let's talk about all the different reasons why you want to get a will. We want to think about this for our families. We want to think about this for our loved ones, but it is typically the most overlooked aspect of our financial wellness. And the reason is it feels very daunting. We know that. We feel that it's heavy and challenging, and we're going to procrastinate. But I know if you're in the same boat as me, like most of us are, at night, it's one of those things that just nags at us. I relate it to my taxes every year. Every year, I hem and haw and I procrastinate my taxes. But once I'm finished those taxes, I feel this wave of relief. The day that I finished my will 15 years ago, I tell everyone it was the day I became an adult. I felt like I could sleep at night. I felt I did right by my friends and family. Why do we want to do a will? This is a really critical piece. So we're going to talk about all the benefits of it. But I want to start off by saying if you do not make those decisions in your will, guess who does? The government, state officials, judges. We've all worked so hard every day for what we have. Your families work so hard. Having a will makes sure everything goes where it's supposed to go, where you want it to go. So if you don't do that, it goes to probate. So here are some of the reasons why. So, what we love about this, look at all of these incredible programs. First and foremost, we want to give you control over asset distribution. So, if you just take a moment and reflect, all those assets that you may have. Maybe it is a bank account. Maybe it's real estate property. Maybe it's vehicles you own or digital assets or online banking. These are aspects that you want to make sure are going to land up exactly where you want them to. Charitable gift. This has been a really interesting one. I've received so many calls and interest about this aspect because people have asked, what about property? What about real estate? What about something as simple as cars and cash? So this too can be a charitable donation, a charitable gift. So we haven't a piece broken out for that. But we want to talk about one of the key components. This is a reality. It's something that's not, our favorite topic to talk about. But when you don't create a will, unfortunately, a lot of family conflict happens, right? Everyone loves their family members so much. Everyone wants to do right by them. But once we all start to speculate, that's where we get in a little bit of trouble because my perception may be different from my cousins, from my aunts. So once you put everything in black and white, I tell a story often. A dear friend of mine, his brother, when he was passing, had asked him to restore his car. And it was just a lovely, sweet verbal conversation, nothing written down. And unfortunately, as months passed, when his brother passed, it became really just such a hardship and challenge and fight within the family because everyone had a different vision. Everyone